Welcome to hour two of the Joy Reid Show. It's been a weird week for the media, a very weird week. And MAGA media is making it clear that their ethos in this era is no blacks allowed. That they think DEI means get rid of all the blacks. Vibe is merging with Rolling Stone. And of course, black journalists are the ones taking the biggest L's. This story at feminegra.com is talking about the fact that the journalists who are getting laid off in this merger between Rolling Stone and Vibe, it's mostly the black journalists that are losing their jobs. Meanwhile, the Nepo billionaire who owns Paramount and his MAGA Substack princess are literally laying waste to Paramount CBS. And according to at least one producer on the streaming side of that network who posted on their social media, everyone in their particular team that's getting laid off is black, while the white producers are getting new assignments. So they're reassigning the white producers per this person. Now, we have not independently verified this, but a second producer kind of did when they posted on their TikTok. This gentleman posted on his TikTok, and we've reached out to him to try to see if we can get him on the show, said that that's what happened in his department too. And it isn't all black people that are losing their jobs. John Dickerson is apparently leaving the network. He's a white guy, but he's apparently also leaving. But it is a complete bloodbath, y'all. The entire CBS Saturday morning team has been, they're ending that show. So co-anchors Michelle Miller, Dana Jacobson, and the show's executive producer, Brian Applegate, all have been informed that they're on their way out. This is according to the New York Post, part of MAGA Bari Weiss's master plan to make CBS into a proper Trump and Israel propaganda farm. Now, there was initial reporting that Gayle King was out. Variety carried it. Lots of people carried it. Our sources internally are telling us that she's not leaving, that she may be in a different role, but that Gayle is going to still be there. But just the fact that this made it all the way to Variety, the idea that Gayle even could be in jeopardy, it's a theme, right? There's also rumors that MAGA Barry might elevate Brett Baier of Fox News if they can convince him to come away from Fox, and I put news in scare quotes, to bring him over to maybe helm their nightly news program on CBS. Or maybe elevate Tony Dokoupil to, I guess, reward him for basically calling Ta-Nehisi Coates a terrorist, for daring to be empathetic to Palestinians, which is apparently not allowed at CBS anymore. I did a scroll through their homepage, and trust me, it's starting to look like the Jerusalem Post. And I promise you, Bari Weiss will not allow any stories on there that are critical of Israel or that are too friendly toward Palestinians or that even talk about their lives or their deaths. It's not going to happen. I mean, pretty soon we're getting to the point where we're just going to have like 3 major networks, like in the good old days, except each will be owned by a different oligarch family. Murdochs will own one, the Ellisons will own one, Jeff Bezos will own another one, and they'll just split up all the traditional media and the social media, and they'll just own them all. It'll be all oligarch firms. And weirdly enough, they'll all be pro-MAGA. They'll all be conservative. And they'll all be very reluctant to hire blacks because they think DEI means black people. They're all going to say, you know what, we're going to try to be, quote unquote, fair to the Trumpenführer. He's got to be treated fairly, which means it's going to be pro-Trump. I'm sorry about CBS. I'm sad about it. I loved 60 Minutes. I thought CBS was it is considered the Tiffany network for a reason. It's a gold standard. Not anymore. I would be very dubious about anything that was on CBS, to be honest. And the Washington Post is still doing work, but it's getting to the point where the oligarchs are going to start to shape the coverage. I also, by the way, I want to note one of the other stories that's happening here. Donald Trump is going to be in his little bunker, probably now watching CBS News. He'll be excited that he can, go back to watching CBS because that's going to be basically nice to him. Because, he is a child, and so he wants the media to all be his friend and be nice to him and say nice things. And this is what Bari Weiss wants to do. Right? Let me note another piece of news here that one of the people he won't be chilling with, Trump loves the royals, but one royal that he's not going to be hanging out with in his Epstein ballroom is going to be Prince Andrew. He's been literally booted out of his royal residence. Am I the only person that didn't remember that he was married to Fergie, Duchess Ferguson? I don't know how I forgot about that. Talk about a nightmare. Joining me now is our friend Toure, one of our favorites. There he is. Hey, Toure, how you doing?
Good. I thought we were starting in 5 minutes, but I'm glad I logged in.
I know, exactly. You got here early,
to
perfect time. And I said, you know what? Let's bring him in early because I have more things to talk about. Toure, I am very interested to hear what you make of what's happened at CBS because we know that Bari Weiss. Can I just show y'all the morning team? This is D6. There they are. They're no longer going to be there. It does seem that being black at CBS is not a growth opportunity in this moment. It's like,
Wait, could you show them the Trey Sherman video that you TikToked yesterday?
we don't have it yet because I wanna make sure I get permission from him before I play it back because we're trying to actually book him. Because, yes,
Beautiful.
talk about Trey Sherman because that is the gentleman that I
I
mentioned.
I
Please
mean,
please go for it.
this is part of the start of our understanding of what's going on inside there. That this young brother, who's a producer, said his team was dissolved, or the show that he was on was killed, and all the white people were reassigned to other parts of the company, other shows, and all the black people were sent home. They were all fired. And look, I'm not surprised that Bari Weiss walked into CBS and said, "Where's all the black people? Okay, y'all get out." I mean,
Right.
this is
DEI.
part of we have they feared race-based hiring. Now we have race-based firing, right? And just the right's general rejection of us in the workforce, the notion that we are all DEI hires, we are all lesser than the potential white replacement is part of this. And the notion that she can just assume that all the black people don't deserve to be there is kind of disgusting. But this flows out of the notion of, if I see a black pilot, I'm nervous.
Hmm,
If I see a black doctor, I'm nervous. Who knows? DEI could have gotten them into that position. This week, I heard them just openly dissing Karine Jean Pierre. Obviously, she is lesser than Caroline Levitt. Like,
right.
obviously, she's a DEI.
Clearly.
I mean, we're just going full racist on assuming that the black people do not deserve their positions.
And meanwhile, Bari Weiss has literally zero qualifications to run CBS News. She has never worked in television. She was at the New York Times, but she left in a huff because she was saying that people were anti Semitic because basically her coworkers couldn't stand her. And she thought that it was anti Semitic to dislike her. She is somebody who said that Brett Kavanaugh people were just being a little bit too extra, saying that because he was accused of sexual molestation or sexual attack against a schoolmate, you're just taking it too far, that women were taking it too far on claims of sexual harassment and they shouldn't be so soft about it. She's somebody who basically said that DEI must be completely eliminated. And she has said that anyone who thinks that Palestinians shouldn't be bombed with 2,000-pound bombs work for Qatar. Somebody let her know Qatar is Donald Trump's new best friend and gave him a supposedly free plane that we have to pay for. And that they are now doing a base that we're going to have our military co-train with them. So they're our friend now, Barry. Catch up on your Trumpism since you're Donald Trump's best boo, because he likes Qatar now. But she says they all work for Qatar. They don't really care about the Palestinians. They're not even really starving. They're just on Ozempic. They're just skinny because they're not eating. It's like, dude, you don't believe the genocide is real, but the ICC said it was? That who is running it. She is what they claim DEI is, an unqualified substacker. And I'm a substacker, so I like Substack. That lady has no business running CBS News.
And
Sorry.
she was a writer at the New York Times, not even an editor, not even a leader.
No,
Um,
never.
but
She's
over
never run a newsroom, Toure. She's never run a newsroom. And now she's in charge of the people who run 60 Minutes.
That's frightening because 60 Minutes is such an important journalistic institution. But this is part of, the removal of DEI, right? So harder for black people to get those sort of middle class, upper middle class jobs, right? They attacked affirmative action. So colleges should not be using rate, right? So the number of black people going into colleges is way down. So it's just like, how can we push them, blacks, out of the middle class, out of the middle class jobs and the pipeline to the middle class through the colleges? This is how we do it because, of course, these spots are designed for white people. They are deserved by
Yes.
white people. I think part of the core theory of racism in America is that we are physically superior to them. We are better dancers, singers, athletes, but we are intellectually inferior to them, right? So we can't be thought of as more intelligent and character. Forget about it, right? We're lazy. We're not hardworking. So this is where you get into like, you can love Beyonce and go to her show and like enjoy that, but then also think like, well, obviously, we can't have any black people in the C-suite. We can't have any black people as senior producers. I mean, and this is not even behind the scenes. I don't know what's going on, but I think our girl Gayle King is being edged out, either edged out of the morning show or edged out of CBS altogether. I see reports saying Gail's out, but then you see Gail walking out the building like, I don't know what they're talking about. Right.
Yeah.
So I don't know where we are with that.
But she weirdly seemed to feel like it was we don't know what's happening with you. I had a source that said that she's not out, but that and we don't know if her position's gonna change, but she felt the need to, like, post that, like, friendly photo with a Fox person. It's like everyone is sort of seeming to try to adjust their branding to be more Trump friendly. Like,
Uh,
you can see that happening throughout the media where people feel like they need to stand closer to Trump in order to survive, and if Gayle King has to do that, then we're all in trouble.
I can't imagine Gail actually doing that, signaling that I'm going to be a little more Trump friendly. I mean,
I mean, she went to space with was it with Bezos?
I don't know. I would think Gail of all people would be like, I am leaving rather than do this, right? We saw who was it? John
Oh,
Dickerson said, I am
yeah.
leaving
He's like, "I'm out."
CBS rather
That's
than
right.
participate in this. And I think we will see people of high integrity, and not saying people who say don't have high integrity, but certain people of high
Sure.
integrity will say, this pattern at Paramount, this pattern at ABC, wherever, I can't be down with this. I can't look at myself and say I participated in this, and they're going to walk away.
The thing is so sort of infuriating is that you have people like Bari Weiss who keeps on. She sort of got famous on the right by making the claim that wokeness and DEI were destructive to America's future, right?
Uh-huh.
And that people who were too sensitive about things like sexual harassment or about the charges against Kavanaugh, that though she herself, I believe, is a lesbian woman, but that minorities who asserted their rights and wanted to assert equality, they were the problem. Not the inequality, but the assertion of just putting your hand up and saying, hey, this is inequality, that's the problem. She's now taking that ethos. She built her whole Substack around that. And they have now essentially merged her Substack.
Yeah.
Her own sister, I think, got like an exclusive at CBS.
Yeah.
You know, it's all the Trump things where like the siblings get like hooked up, and her ideology is now the prevailing ideology.
At CBS.
It must be.
At CBS.
You cannot part from her ideology if you work at CBS. That's frightening for me, but
This
I
is
think it's gonna happen to every major media
this is
company.
not the way that a news operation is supposed to be run, right? I mean, like, the place that we were at together, the guy at the top, love him or hate him, whatever, his ideology did not filter down to us. He did not tell us
Right.
what to think or do. And you and I might disagree on a given day, or Chris Hayes might go, well, I see it a little bit differently. I mean, we were all progressive, so we were all somewhat similar, but nobody was telling us what to think, as opposed to, we know over at Fox, they were told, this is what we're talking about. This is the language we're using. And they would say the same things and make the same points and not dissent. And that came down from the top. That's not the way it's supposed to be. The leader is not supposed to be telling you what to think, especially in a situation where it's like, you're not like thinking like, on Earth One, as Joy
Right.
Reid loves to say, right? They are saying like, we're gonna function on Earth Two, and like some of the folks gotta be like, but it's not real over here, right? Like, like,
Right.
so we're doing the Harlem Globetrotters, we're not doing real basketball, we're doing okay, all right, we're doing but the one thing with Barry too, I see her as similar to Riley Gaines and
Mhm.
Kyle Rittenhouse and some other folks who, when they have this conflagration with the left, and then they have a grievance and a victimhood that propels them to stardom on the right. So she becomes this big name when she rebukes the New York Times and is famous for standing up and walking away from this lefty bastion, just as Kyle stood up to the left and shot people in the streets and fucking where they were in the up, but and like, Riley Gaines was wronged by a trans woman, even though there were four cis people ahead of her
Right.
already. Like, you weren't wronged by a trans person. You would have lost
Right.
that race, but not on the podium, even if the trans woman was not there. But you have this fight with the left and you stand up for yourself. And then the right is like, oh, we love her. We love him. Welcome him. Take her. I mean, she's a cause celeb because she stood up to the New York Times.
Yeah. But your Substack is really great. It's called Culture Fries. You should all subscribe to it. But what do you make of it? It seems to me that the right rather than create popular culture of their own, what they
Uh-uh.
really want most is to subsume the popular culture on the left. That they are
Uh,
angry that the
mhm,
Kennedy Center
mhm.
has gay people doing shows, so they just want to eat the Kennedy Center up and make it do what they want. Like they don't seem to believe they can persuade or that they can create a culture that's as good as the culture on the left. They just want to basically smash the culture on the left, disallow it, make it illegal, shut it up, put a, tie it up, tie its hands behind its back, and then take it and take it. DEI is something not they didn't make it up, but they're like, we're not going to make up our own term for the thing we don't like. We're just going to take yours.
I
We're going to take your critical race theory, make it into our thing. Now we're going to take the word woke. We didn't make it up, but we're going to just eat that. They just eat the things that the left makes or that regular people make, and they never make. They're like people who
Well,
steal
I
TikTok
I
dances.
think you see that politically also, that they are reactionary and defensive and not offensive, right? Democrats fought for decades to create a new healthcare system. Republicans have fought against the democratic healthcare system, but multiple administrations, Republican administrations, have not advanced their own healthcare
Right.
idea. So there is no right wing idea of how to do healthcare. There is a left wing idea. They are just against our idea, but they don't have their own idea. And the same thing with culture, that they are against us culturally. But there isn't really a right wing popular culture whatsoever. There might be a few figures here and there who like Trump, but there is no right wing cultural apparatus the way there is this vibrant left wing cultural apparatus. For example, the left wing got Bad Bunny hosting the Super Bowl. Fine, right?
Right.
And I mean, I think it's a left wing coded notion because it's a Spanish speaking
Yeah.
artist, right? He's from Puerto Rico, right? Not the continental United States. He is outside of the cultural norm of the vast majority of NFL fans.
Okay.
Fine. But what the NFL and Jay Z are looking for is the artist who will make people who were not going to watch the game
That's right.
run into the living room. Well, we must see Bad Bunny. We
That's right.
must see Taylor Swift. I don't care about the rest of the game, but I want to see that
Right.
part of the game. They asked Taylor. She said no. Bad Bunny is an amazing second or third choice after Taylor, and I don't know who else they thought of before. He creates like, oh my God, I don't care about the game, but I will watch this. The
Internationally.
Right. The right tried to say, well, we will program our own. Who could they get? Their number one
Oh.
recording artist was Kid Rock. He's
No.
not a contemporary
They
artist.
couldn't even get Kanye because remember they swiped Kanye. They couldn't even like make their own rapper. They were like, "We'll just take Kanye and Snoop."
I
Ha
mean,
ha ha.
I don't think I think Snoop took a
He's
check,
not really
right?
with
But I
them.
don't think
Yeah, he
he's
took a
all
check.
right. But
Yeah.
Kanye is a great idea in that he's like, I believe your ideas. I rock with your guy, but
And
like,
I'm gonna wear a clan suit.
you, but Kanye's not coming. Kid Rock is not a contemporary artist. He exists from like decades ago.
Yes.
Nobody even
The
wants,
80s.
even the people on the
Yeah.
right don't want to see this
Like,
right
what are
wing
his
turn.
songs? Like,
They
name a
don't want to
song. Name one song that
name
Kid Rock.
five.
Can you
Name
name?
five Kid Rock songs. You can't do it.
Can't name any. Like, wait,
Does he
what?
sing in English?
That's what they have? It's sort of sad. I would feel sorry for them if they weren't so evil. Like, I would pity them if they weren't so evil.
Well, I mean, it is kind of sad that they don't have folks who are able to sing and dance and act and like entertain. And I think there's a joy that leads, that springs to the creative impulse, right? Like you feel good in the world and you want to like sing or dance or write or create and add something to the world. And if you have hate inside you and you want to oppress people and you want to feel victimized and villainized, because please don't forget that victimization is where they start from. They feel
Yeah.
victimized. They feel like the world's out to get them, right? Katie Miller, case in point,
Mm.
right? Shank
Good
is
God.
talking about Israel, and she's like, this is an attack on Jewish people. No, it
For
is
those
not. It
For
is
those who are not up
not.
on this, I'm just letting you all know Katie Miller is the human who literally married Stephen Miller, which I am shocked
On
that a human
purpose.
person would not only and procreate with him. I'm actually terrified for her and of her because she did those things. But she is married to that ghoulish man. on Halloween, Happy Halloween. But she now wants to be her own public figure. She's got like a website where she's trying to be like a cool
Oh,
right wing influencer girl. So
oh,
she gets booked on, of course,
years.
Piers Morgan. And so Piers books her, but he also books Cenk Younger from the Young Turks. And then he says something to her that is completely just about her being a liar. And she says, anti-Semitism. And
Right.
he's like, anti-Semitism. I said, you're wrong and you're a liar. And she's like, you're anti-Semitic and you hate the Jewish people. And he's like,
No,
what are
no,
you talking
no,
about?
no. I hate
And then he
you.
literally melts.
I hate you. I don't hate Jewish
Right.
people. I love Jewish people. I
Right.
hate
He's like, I'm talking
you.
about you.
The
And then the
public.
other person, another person, you guys have to go seek this out. Another person on the panel said, woman, what is wrong with you? He said he hates you. Where did you get anti-Semitism from what he said? And she's like, I'm leaving. It's like, okay, Katie, you're weird.
She's very weird. She's very
Crazy.
messy, and you do hear his vocal tones and the way he talks and the way
Listen,
she responds when she feels, but you better
listen.
check your citizenship papers. That's how he talks,
Hooray.
right?
Can
When
you
he
imagine an argument between them? I said that and they're like, they both sound the same.
I wonder though, because that sort of regimented household, like he makes all decisions. She is not to disagree with him. She is not to argue with
Yes,
him.
you're right.
We don't have an even
Sure.
household. She is
No.
basically a trad wife. And I don't have any
Yes.
intel on that. I'm just looking from the outside, but
I'm scared of both of them. I think that's good they're married to each other. It saves two other people from the problems that would ensue in having to be near either of them or to put hands on either. I think it's good that they're together. I like to keep them contained, Toure, in one evil bundle.
I know, but their
Contained.
evil bundle is impacting all of us.
I know. And last question for you. This notion that Department of Homeland Security feds are running around and not denying it in Halloween masks in order to torment you, to the point you said about cruelty and about, victimizing people. They take glee in doing that.
I mean, there's an interesting number of emotions that we are told coming out of ICE, and there's clearly a sadistic nature to some of these
Yeah.
people and a joy in ruining other people's lives and separating families. But we also hear tell of depression out of ICE and people feeling like Stephen Miller and them have given us an impossible task. So all the videos we see, they are not making their quotas. They couldn't possibly make their quotas.
Yeah.
So they feel bereft, which is so sad, out of that.
Mhm.
But then also they go into cities and people find creative ways of attacking them. I followed this one brother who was all over them with the whole community of people when they were in some mid California city, like early on in this. And they would like hundreds of people working together. They would like find the hotel that they were staying at and then honk horns and yell outside the hotel all night long so they couldn't sleep. And they got people who like follow them around wherever they go
Yeah.
and blow whistles and tell people, and of course they come to New York and like half of New York comes out on Canal Street and is like, get the fuck out of here. We hate you. So wherever they go, they are experiencing hatred and
Yeah.
repression on the street.
They can't eat in Chicago. A lot of Chicago restaurants won't even let them eat there.
You
They're just like,
know?
you can't go pee here and you can't eat here.
So I mean, I'm sure that there's a weird mixture of like, this is fun beating up these immigrants because we allow people to demonize immigrants and see them as not human, even though they've
Yeah.
been here for 20, 30 years, paying taxes, taking care of their families, being good citizens. Except they just didn't finish the papers. I mean, when they are attacking people in courthouses who are
Yeah.
literally trying to do it the right way in the
Yeah.
legal process, I'm like, how low is that? Like I'm
Yeah.
coming here following the rules and you're snatching me. Like I could see but we were told this was going to be bad people. This is
Yeah.
99% not bad people.
Yeah.
So
It's
what about
construction
that?
workers. People are working in the fields, working in meat packing plants. People standing at Home Depot ready to go to work. It's disgusting.
Cops,
Teray.
regular
Yeah.
folks.
And American citizens and people who are military veterans, by the way.
Yep.
Toure, you can find him at Culture Fries. You're going to want to do that. You're going to want to subscribe. Happy Halloween. Did you dress up as anything today,
I
by the
don't
way?
like doing it. I like
No.
appreciating other people, but I don't like. Did you dress up?
Jason is cheering for you. I did. This is I just had the under part of my outfit. If you go on my, there it is.
Oh,
That
Wakanda.
was
Okay,
me.
okay.
I am a Dora Milaje today. That is
Okay,
it.
all right.
Our
No,
youngest
that's
son was like,
so
who auntie is
on
that?
brand. I love that. I mean, honestly, you see now you inspire me. Like if I had done something, I might have gotten
Yeah.
like a yellow vest and been like, we robbed the Louvre. Like, you know what I mean? Because like fuck,
Yes.
fuck the power. You stole all that
Fuck
shit,
the
so fuck you.
power.
We're taking it back.
Amen. 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 Teray, my friend. Thank you. Happy Halloween.
Thank
Appreciate you.
you.
Thank you. A round of applause, please, for Teray. He is great. We love him. Thank y'all for tuning in. Be sure to like and subscribe. Share this this channel. Make sure that everybody subscribes to the YouTube channel. 70% of people are lurking, watching these shows and not subscribing. Why would you do that? So make sure that you like, subscribe, and throw some comments in. Thank you all for joining the Joy Reid Show. See you on the next one. And goodbye for now.